In this life, we cannot do great things. We can only do small things with great love. That is a quote from Mother Teresa, and this is the Inspired Poetry Corner. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are on this planet. Welcome to the Inspired Poetry Corner. I thank you for being here. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, with your love, with your time, and hopefully with your poetry. We have a very special show today. Then again, they're all special, aren't they? Aren't they? But we do have a very special show today. We get to continue understanding and learning more about the poets that have come into our lives from the refugee camp in Malawi. So really looking forward to getting into that. I want to give them as much time as possible, and then obviously to have the Not Ready for Primetime poets in support of Natalie, our feature today. But before we do that, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a successful last week. Today's the start of the week, so I hope you are setting yourself up for the week that you would like to have and successes and productivity you would like to see. I hope you're well, you're in good spirits. Hope like we're here in Toronto and enjoying the last of summer. We've gotten a last blast of summer, so it's been beautiful that way as we step into the fall. But I hope wherever you are, you're doing well. I'm hoping you feel grounded and connected, and taking all this beautiful oxygen that we're feeling. And let's sit back with our favorite beverage and enjoy each other, our presence, our love, and poetry. So, having said that, let's get into it. I want to talk to you about a young woman that I have seen a couple of times from the various events that I have put on, spotlighting the young poets that's out of the refugee camp in Dzaleka in Malawi in Africa. And the show that we did, I guess about a month ago now, Anjie, I think it was a month, we're in celebrating the release of the two books. And Natalie recited, and I was really taken with her poetry and taken with her presence. And I wanted the opportunity to spotlight her because of that. So this young woman is a poet. She's a part of the African Youth Artistic Poetry Group that was started up by Charles. He's a poet you've met before, but you'll see again today. She loves spending time creating poetry. It's obviously a big passion for her. She was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo and resides as a refugee with her family, like I said, in the camp in Malawi. Very short bio, but I'm hoping we'll get to know a little bit about her. I know today in her feature, she's also invited a couple of her friends or other poets to share the spotlight with her, just to speak of the heart and the mindset of these young people. So anyway, this is not about me talking. This is about these young people, and this is about Natalie. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to unmute for a second to welcome, to snap it up, to give them a big virtual hug, but to welcome our feature for this month, Natalie Mwajuma. Natalie, welcome to the Inspired Poetry Corner. Okay. How are you?
We are fine.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you feeling a little nervous?
No, I'm just okay.
Okay. Well, this is your moment, right? This is your moment to share more than just one poem today. This is a feature of you, to feature your poetry, to give you the opportunity to be spotlighted. I think everyone deserves to be spotlighted. I know a number of people were blown away with your poetry when they heard you at the in celebration show. So I want you to just breathe, relax, and do your thing.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready to start, you can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are starting a piece. Besides one point, in the dog will
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie, and before starting the interview, I would like to perform one poem, which is entitled, Though. Here it goes. Though it seems to sink like sunset, but one day I'll rise like sunrise. I run, yes, I don't deny, because our arms are ruined, not by monsoon, not by sandstorms, but by our blood that is raining countlessly. Maybe not everyone was given that chance of living free and happy. Should I believe so? So, cause I never taste it. I have been familiar straight to hell, cause I live like a tale. Wherever it chased it right, that is where it fell, but never tied the flow because of that hope I was given by my patient, as the sun says, one day I shall rise like sunrise. Yeah, that is the end of the poem.
Okay. So I would like, can you do a couple more before you bring your friends on? I'd like to hear a couple of your pieces. I love the fact that whenever you guys have an individual opportunity, you share it with everyone because you're all in the same boat. I really admire that. But can you yourself, Natalie, do a couple of more pieces before you bring your friends on?
Okay.
Okay. I love that spirit of you guys. You guys stick together and you seem to share everything. I have a feeling that has a lot to do with Charles, but that's okay.
Okay, the second piece, it is entitled, Hey. Here it is talking more about girls. Here it goes. Hey girl, we are angels coming from above, who are blazed with all colors like a chameleon. If you want to be weak before devil, that's your fear. If you want to be strong, that's your courage. To reach that door of light, that door of sight, and never be blind due to all this beautification. Hand in hand with God, you shall never bend. Don't scare, even if they frighten you. Just bear, as God is there. You shall see the upcoming stairs. Stand still in fear. Don't dare to revenge, cause nothing you gain. And don't worry, cause God will cover you in his palm and heal all your heart's wound. Mm-hmm. That is the end. And the third poem, it is entitled Sparks of the Sun. Here it goes. No love among us. Corruption our king, this nation our queen. Mercy was a goal, kind has gone, living a life as if we are not people. Who shall remove us from this desert life? Things we get doesn't satisfy the need. Everything costs, nothing for free. If you haven't sweat, nothing you get. I dreamed of swimming in the ocean. Instead, I was in the cup, tasting how life of being not free is as sour as lemon. We depend on rain. If no rain, we water our fueled by our sweat. We can't lose hope, cause our hard working shall pay us. And the following one, it is entitled Until When. Here it goes. Please show us mercy, cause we have tired. Sleeping insecure, searching for cure, but never get. Until when, my dear, drinking our own blood as beer, I'm asking you whether you have an idea. The last one, which is entitled, She Was Born to Be. Here it goes. Let me free, so that I can so far one day. Don't force me to do so, because education is the way. They told her she should impregnate the sky and wait till all our dreams built. Coming from thirsty to basic, it was our dream, but it was united and made her regretted. I'm a girl, I need my right. For education is my future bright light. I don't need money, I don't need men, but only to learn. Let me fulfill my bags, books, and pen, and no children. To go to the farm and sow my mind brain, cause I want to best fruit and no regrets. She told them, but they told her to tie her up for toes. Those couldn't stop searching. Those couldn't stop. Those couldn't stop searching for a hand to hold her nightmares. She was forced at all. Trees were shedding blood. Even death denied it to obtain her. For our dreams were still waiting for her in the world. Now she's back once again to be girls' chest, to raise girls' right flag, and not to be flogged anymore. Because we were created by one God. The mission is to conquer the Satan. Let us stop discrimination because he isn't a solution. I'm a girl and I'm proud of being a girl. Let us trust in ourselves to stand independently, to witness as Thomas, time is still a little. I shall show you that I'm capable even to swallow the world. That is the end of the poem. Now I'm giving.
I was gonna hold on, Natalie, before you pass it on. I know you're nervous and you're not, but you're only 16.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So I don't, feel how you feel, but you're a powerful young woman. And yes, you are a girl and God made you that way and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I think you're a powerful, powerful young woman. So thank you for doing that. I know it's out of your comfort zone. Many adults find it hard stepping out of their comfort zone. So what you just did, be proud of yourself. Thank you for doing that. So introduce your friends. Introduce your friends.
Yeah, here there is Miriel, and there is Jean-Marie, and I would like to give them a chance to perform. Okay. Yeah, there is also Bienvenue.
So 3 people.
Yeah, there are 3 people, so I would like to give them a chance to perform them to their poems. I think they're welcome.
Yeah, they're more than welcome. And like I said before, I just think it's so amazing that I offered you the opportunity to be spotlighted and you want to share it with your friends. I think that speaks volumes about the young woman that you are. So bring your friends on. They're more than welcome to share their poetry. Just introduce yourself, young lady. Who are you?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
What is your... My name is Eddy Miriel.
Can you say it again, please?
Eddy Miriel.
Eddy Miriel. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, my name is Raul. So. All right. Sure. Whenever you're ready to recite, you can recite.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, the poem goes entitled My Inside Pains. Yes, here it goes. The dark has swallowed my life. I'm just in dilemma, wondering what to say, cause I'm lost in this way called life. Tears are flowing in my eyes like a Pacific Ocean. My cheeks have become. Pains are drinking away my life. I'm a star that I've never shined. I'm an angel who flies with wings, with dark wings. For sure, life has put me another side. Lament has become my song. Poverty is my best friend. My dreams have rest in peace. Like a queen without a king, I am. I aim to do the best, but end up being a bed with no nest. When I look myself in the mirror, I see pains appear in my sight. Everyday cracks are drawn in my life, like faulting process. My cheeks have become. I'm walking with a pool of river on my face, like a tortoise with its house. Pains have stuck my life. I didn't want to be so, but life has played me the wrong cards. My life is good. Even mathematics is so simple than my life. Pains have become my inner part, and they have destroyed my heart. I think this might be my hand, cause I can't manage to defend, and none I can depend. Like a widow with no shadow, my life is a composition of pains. Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Another?
Yeah, please do another.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Hold on before you start. That was a powerful piece. That was a brilliant piece. That first piece, beautiful stuff. Very powerful. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the last one.
Jeez, wow.
The last one is entitled "In the Garden of Pains, My Heart Lies." Here it goes. Yesterday was the last night I saw you in my sight. The night was long and strong without you in the Garden of Eden. My heart was burdened with the luggage of your betrayals. Is it true? I'm left and lost. In a long way to Golgotha, my love is crucified. My happiness is buried. Look, I have lost my focus. See, you have run my success. I don't know how to survive because I can't manage to thrive. See, I'm just standing. I'm just wondering how you have locked my soul with endless tears. Look, you have made my life with endless fears. Why? You have pretended a lot. You have suffocated my life. My heart is bleeding for the scar that you have left in me. My eyes are not drying for the everyday cracks that you are releasing. Thank you.
Wow. To Natalie's poem, when a young girl, you guys are not just young girls, you guys are young women, very powerful. I love your poetry. Right?
Thank you.
One thing though, no one can poison your heart unless you let it. Your heart is strong.
Yeah.
How I know your heart is strong? Listen to your words. Listen to your own words and the way you write. You're very strong. God does not make weak. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for gracing us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who's next? Well done. Bienvenue, there he is. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see you with the other poets, because I know you guys live in different sections. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think you guys know him. You've seen him a few times. Bienvenue. Whenever you're ready, my friend, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Bienvenue. I'll perform a poem called Life Celebration. And here it goes. Yeah, here it goes. My first time for me to see the lights, the world was glowing. My mother was laughing as a loser who became a winner. But now saliva is tasting bitter. Her body has lives for 2 months. Relatives are mocking for marriage debt. They grabbed the property before we buried their body. Cashless is the punishment. Today we are gathering like a choir. Its image cracking of black white attire. Expensive boats in our faces. Mind our hearts for her divorce. Begging our hearts to beat the drum. And the rivers are shedding tears. My future smells short and dry. And nobody can deny. Pastors are reading last rhyme of her life. Guns are controlling their mood like verses of poems in Proverbs. She has left a lesson and pens in my veins. Looking at her dirty face, skeleton smiling to me, her middle mind crying for help. I have lost my torch in dark. Where can I park? The belled calendar appear and disappear on me. Today is her birthday, but she has passed away. Neighbors are crying like mechanics with no ideas. The large celebration in my life. My mind is a rainstorm, readed rain. A chaos smashed me to leave tears. I love her and hate her is true, but I'll never forget her treatment. I wish to follow her, putting my life in hot. Ugly thing I never cross in a pot, which bore our tears. Sorrowful songs are sung, a journey to living dead center. Nobody weep to pure my sorrow, busy planting a body. Her playing manure on a bed, planning to crop terror into sorrows. Mortality is her name, and I'm homeless. Noise, then quiet. I pin my eyes and they want to fall from sockets. It couldn't thrown down for fear because of the peace of the grapes, and I'm parentless. The barren woman is up. saying that you want to be my savior, hiding me in my comfort zone. I question her, where is my mother? My father died on his 5, and now I'm a true orphan, and my mother was here yesterday. Traditional leaders were alive. Then I was told to be active because my mom is a fallen tree, and someone has chopped her from me at funeral, the last celebration in my life. Thank you.
You are a brilliant writer, my friend. And you perform so well. This is why I hope this exposure is not very limited, but I hope the other poets that see this, the ones that organize shows, bring you guys on as much as possible. I think people need to just keep hearing your voice, right? This is the young man that Anjie and I featured in celebration with his book. Was it Running with My Shadows? What's the name of your book? Run to Save Your Shadow. Run to Save Your Shadow. Thank you very much. I'm getting old, so my memory isn't what it was, but well done. Great job. And please, if you get a chance, if you have the link to your book, put it in the chat so people, if they're interested in picking a copy up, they can do so. Good to see you. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
Yeah, I'm Jean Mary. Fine.
How are you?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself before you start singing your poetry.
Yeah, I'm Jean Mary, and I'm the member of AYAP. So I'm having 2 pieces that I got performed here.
Okay.
It goes, yeah. This is called Alone, but before. Alone, but before. Yeah, here it goes. There are many choices standing out of chances. Straight, wet, sweet, wet sounds hectic, but not good. Life burning like plastic. I'm in millions mil. All the morning I wake to wake. So many make my lungs are milk, a scout meal, threatening of legs and hands to my leaf, never be better. I don't hog in a hole cultivating pigmatic counted ribs, homeless, poorly, poverty eaten by whole. For real, I'm forlorn, fine, raw the ribs. What is me? Thinking about the calling death. So sorry to her about my last bit. Yeah, that is the first one. Yeah. And the second one is why or why. Yet goes. Whilst traveling is being dropped, driving to live. Life is like a leaf, as trees leaves, counting the moment wave, knowing now the cave around. Life surprise in exchange, expression, problem, please. Leave them in all events you are. We are the sun drying, not a picture to orphan, inner to poor people. Why? Oh, why? This occupation includes desert in the jungle, the Gabofani mango eaten in billions. Imagine what if corruption could be cooperation and peace of society, and oh, no peace to people, no peace to people. English in education to us vulnerable. Setting life isn't shallow, so hard to be capable, angry to angry, so eat capable. Thing, full, part to pass, still stable. Why? Oh, why? If to so persist, have you big sock? For the tired, the smile, and the tired not. Tired and sad, sadly struggle. Why? Oh, why? So why is a reason? Taking this time in a season. See sorrow, worry, see sorrow, sorry, in ink, a person with visions. That's why life is around the hazardous is me. I wanna be free. That's the last one. Yeah.
Wow. I really like that piece. I like that a lot. Brilliant stuff. How do you say your name again, please?
I'm Jean Mary Bukize, known as G1 Poet.
G1 Poet. I could see why.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy your style and your flow. Very insightful. How old are you?
Okay, thank you very much.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 17 years old.
17. Wow, you guys are just babies, man. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Who else do we have? I know we still have Charles to go. Who else? Nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you very much. You're welcome.
Who else do we have, Charles?
Yeah, Charles.
Oh. And then there's just you, Charles? Just you? All right.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, good to see you, Charles. Everyone, this is Charles. Charles heads up the African artistic poetry group that he started, co-started. So, and he's also a member of the International Academy of Ethics and does stuff with the United Nations. Charles is the published poet. And how old, Charles, you're what? 17, 18? How old are you?
Now 19.
You're 19 now, yeah. You're the old man of the group, but Charles is the one that they kind of look to. He's their North Star. He organizes a lot of stuff that they go into schools and do. So Charles is an amazing young man. Anyway, Charles, love to hear your poetry today.
Yeah, thank you. Before I start reciting my piece, just as Roy introduced myself to everyone there, and it's a great privilege to have African youth artistic poetry always featured by the Inspired Poetry Corner. And we will extend our gratitude to Anjie and also Roll and everybody who showed up this evening from Malawi. Actually, we run a poetry organization in the refugee camp, which is African Youth Artistic Poetry. And we are also planning to have a monthly competition whereby we are going to be showcasing all young poets from the camp and also giving them prize and there's something like that. So I'm going to recite just a few poems because my fellow poets have spent more time, and I believe everybody out there wants to recite. So I'm going to recite the first two poems. The voices are girls. So there is a girl in me speaking out. So it's not me, you know, I'm a writer and I usually feel proud of writing. Yeah, so the first piece goes. Deprived life. From childhood to motherhood, I was 15, you were twice my age. I will just have you. From two, the last time I saw desk, blackboard, pen, and books. Having my school backpack on my back, you tore my shirt apart. Poking my bust, you rose your gas into lust. Ravishingly, you fired me. I cried for death, but it seemed to have a long journey. I dialed for heaven's network system, got cut off. For molestation oozed my voice. My life, you willingly deprived, I'm deadly being. Yeah, that's the first piece. And the next piece is also a voice of a little girl that I wrote in 2023. So here goes. If I went to school, I would know how to say no to a boy whose uncontrollable fingers are slithering on my wrist and breast, driving me into his wildest world. I would stop engaging with drugs and get addicted to studies. I would wake up every morning just to read and write the things that are not taught in our communities. My voice would be a ringtone soothing in people's ears, paying me attentions like poets on stage. I am also here to be heard just like other girls who went to school. Before I am gone, I would love to influence the youth on overcoming the challenges that we face each and every day. For sexual intercourse is not a paycheck for our needs. nor our desires. I would make my heart firm as stiff as a treat could be. Premarital sex would have no door between you and me, for I am disgracefully destroyed. Yeah, apart from being a serious writer, I'm also a romantic poet.
Yes, I
so
can
I'm
tell.
going to Excuse me.
You're just a poet. You're not just a romantic poet. You're just a poet. You're just a writer.
Yeah, so
I love the fact that
I
you
write,
can.
I write about all occasions. Yeah,
Yes.
I write about all occasions. Yeah, so I'm going to recite a piece that I wrote during when I was writing exams. So I write it exactly in the room, in the examination room, because I wrote just my final exams of secondary school. I mean high school.
Oh,
so
hold
ready
on.
to go to college.
Before you recite your poem, have you gotten your marks back? Did you do well in your exams?
Yeah, my marks will be out. My marks will be out in October.
Okay, they're not
the
out
result.
yet. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I believe I'll do.
I'm sure you will.
Do it.
But I remember talking to you during that period. You were a little nervous and a little distracted because you were busy. So, but I'm pretty sure you did. All right.
Yes, I'll do well. So the piece here goes: love sees the desire that is hidden beneath your eyes. Your lips read the shadows of affection bidden. Beyond the wounded skies, splendid images of you are painted, and my heart becomes parted, for your soul is the only hood in boards that my heart nimbly snatches and holds. Ever since you came, my heart beats in echoes, but not the same. For real, I can see you really sting like a bee. Love sees the bruises of storm and comes them not to roam. Yeah, thank you very much for the day.
Love sees the bruises of storm. Love your stuff, Charles. Love your stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Charles. Today we were spotlighting Natalie, and for those that in attendance, all you poets and others that are just in attendance today, the show is a simple format. We have a spotlight poet. They get 20 to 25 minutes to recite, followed with an interview. And then we move on to the other poets. And today we got another taste of a recital out of Malawi that's part of this recital. I didn't expect this morning. But as I said earlier, I really love the fact that you guys share all the opportunities, right?
Yeah.
You've done a really good job, Charles, of leading these young people. You've done an amazing job leading them, keeping them focused, using poetry as a tool to keep them focused. I don't know how this is going to play out. All I know is this is where you guys are now, but I don't think this is where you're going to end up. Life will take you to the next step. And I'm just hoping poetry is going to be a part to help you guys to break free of where you are. So I'm grateful to have met you, to know you. I'm grateful to have met Bienvenue and now Natalie and the other poets. Those are the two new voices to us. We're just as powerful. That young lady is a powerful young voice as well. So keep doing what you guys are doing. Natalie, can I talk to Natalie real quick before we go? Natalie.
Yes.
I know you don't like talking about yourself much, but I just want to ask you, what are your dreams? What are your dreams? What are your dreams?
What's your dream?
Yeah, my dream is becoming a doctor after my studies.
So you're in high school now, right?
Yeah, my first class.
Okay. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you a good student? Do you do well in school?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I can tell you don't like talking about yourself. Who's your family? Who's your family? Who are you living with?
My parents.
Your parents? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you too long in this feeling uncomfortable. Is something you want to say or introduce? What do you want to say?
Me?
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't get the question.
Oh no, I thought you wanted to say something. That's why. So.
Okay. Yeah. I have something. Then at the end, I would like to finish up with just a piece of poem.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing that I would like to say is that I'm glad to be spotlighted on Zoom meeting by you. Thank you for that. And I'm really proud because I did it. I mean, I did it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah. And the last thing is that, oh my gosh. Yeah, the last thing I would like just to shut it down with a piece of poem, which is entitled I Got the One. It is a holy poem which I wrote when I was lonely and I felt like no one was on my side.
Okay.
Yet God. Man can hear my cries emotionally, even when I shout loudly. None can feel my pain, even when I express myself poetically, because you take it for fun. Have you ever tasted the bitterness of being stabbed at a knife in the heart by one you love? You may see me joyful physically, but you don't know what is going on in my mind, thinking that none is faithful, where I can go to and being let free by all these loads on my head. But I'll find the pillar where I can lie on. He is merciful, he is graceful, he has a heart. That's one, my only. He is visible to those in the Holy Spirit. Nothing to him is impossible, he never had. I have got my heart is a secret keeper. He is my cure. To him I'm secure. If you run to him, be sure that your life will be pure. I have no worry because he never let me in sorrow. My enemies will wait till tomorrow. Wherever I go, I'll follow. I feel lonely when I don't feel his shadow approaching me. His love to me is countless. He never lets me needless. He ever take me useless. Really, I'm blessed. Being with him is a grace. I was in trouble when I didn't know where to run to. Whenever I tremble, but I got one that ramble. Now I'm cool. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. That is the end of the poem.
Thank you so much. I love when you smile, Natalie. I know you don't like talking, you don't like the spotlight, but when you were talking before, I started to get emotional because you're a very, very special, strong woman. A strong woman. Thank you for doing this today. Thank you for the surprise, although I'm not surprised, but like I said, usually it would just be you, but the fact that you shared it with everyone and then everyone coming together, having everyone under one roof, because usually we don't have that. This was really special. So thank you for doing this. And if you ever need to talk, Natalie, you just have to reach out to me. Just Facebook me if you ever need to talk. You're never alone. I know you got your parents and you have your poets, but there are other people out here that do care about you guys, and we're pulling for you. So thank you for doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, please unmute and give it up for Natalie and the other poets we got. got a treat today. We got a treat today. We got an amazing treat.
Beautiful.
See what you do, Natalie? I just asked you, and
Beautiful.
you brought other amazing people with you. So that's how powerful you are. Stay. You have your faith. Always lean on that. You're never alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. And we'll pray for you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I know data is hard for you guys. If you guys cannot stick around for the rest of the show, Charles, if you guys have to go, I know data, it costs you guys. So if you cannot stay, don't feel like you have to stay. But we would love for you to stick around as long as possible and hear some of the other poets. So, okay?
Yeah, thank you too for the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are most welcome. I'll let you guys know when I post the video, and then you can watch it again. So, all right.
Okay.
Well done. Thank you. I'll remove the spotlight and continue the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that. That was like I said, that was a treat. I didn't expect that. I didn't know it was coming. But then again, I'm not surprised that they would want to share their spotlight. Natalie, obviously she's a shy young woman, but you can tell the heart and you can tell the depth of these young poets. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Let's just take a moment to just breathe and absorb that, because that was quite powerful. And the voices, particularly, I love Natalie's poem about being a girl. I have to get them to post the actual poems in the Inspired Poetry Corner so we can read them as well. But like I said, once I post the videos, we can watch it again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for your indulgence. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your encouraging words. Natalie and Charles, if you guys read the chat, you'll see the comments from the other poets, what they had to say. And for you poets, please reach out to these young people. Charles tends to be the centerpiece, but a lot of them can use guidance, and like I said, it's not always just about money. Sometimes they just need someone to talk with, to teach them. Angie's become like a kind of a mom to some of them because of the involvement of the last show. So please reach out to them. They have blessed hearts, and they're just trying to make an impact in the world and trying to change their circumstance. And like I said, hopefully poetry will be a part of that. So, all right, let's dive into the rest of the show. This is the portion now for the Not Ready for Primetime poets. As you all know, that's just a play on word, because you're all prime time. All of you are worthy of spotlight in your lives because you're amazing human beings. That's what I look forward to every month. I get to hang out with beautiful human beings. So, we will start off the Not Ready for Primetime Poets section with my friend Alexandra from Greece, who always graces us with her presence and her lovely support. So, Alexandra, the floor is yours.
Sounds like a teacher today. It's really nice that these young people have dreams, considering that the situations that they're living in are far from ideal, but that they have the power to still dream. Would you like the full poem or just half of it? Raoul, do you want half of it or the whole one?
I realized I had muted myself. No, you can do the whole thing.
Okay.
This is the new series, right?
This is the last one because 20 is still under construction.
Still under construction, okay.
Okay. Well, I take a long time, so.
Well, yeah, there's a reason why it takes so long. That's why it's so good. So you take your time. Trust me, we're waiting for it. We're not going anywhere.
Okay, Flying 19. It might be too untimely yet to dismantle the veils. Even so, I can see an all-pervading phlogiston in these little modest flowers, acclimatizing the seeds in our gardens to Olympian soils and seasons. Even so, in this dense temporal spin, outer circles burning to interiorize homoousia. Even so, in this crystalline spatial spin, inner circles burning to be exteriorized by homopsychia. Shifting personalities from misguided, disheartened to demiurgical, enkindled. Hephaestion octahedrons outshining illusory miasma into raised psyche valiance. Master alchemizing positive electric sparks, magnetically captivating gold vortices. Hierophants reverently conducting phohatic heat into excitonal lines, spinning a crescenting blossomed mounts and fiery triplicity, spinning a crescenting personal progress and self-extension. Even so, it might be too hasty yet to visit other lands. Even so, I can walk on this earth's plains and in lucid blue yonders, interpaving three-dimensional existence to multi-dimensionality. Even so, in this wild raging cacotopic well, onto poetics hearkening to chant monophysitism. Even so, in this archetypal, inviolable world, logos hearkening to be imprinted by diaphysitism, fine-tuning interrelationships from unfulfilling compromising to hypostatic aura blending. Psychometric rhythms metronoming our sevenfold distilled ambrosial affection, marrying age-old scars and ordeals into apocatastasis, superseding disturbances and divergencies of the lower planes by spheroidal oneness, whirling, connecting coarse kingdoms and finer keynotes, whirling, connecting spoken communication and cosmogonic communion. Even so, it might be too eager yet to decrypt enigmatic teachings. Even so, I can distinguish a ubiquitous methexis wafting ageless wisdom, amalgamating windward archaic elevations with neoteric knowledge. Even so, in this heterogeneous amphibolic gyration, pathos venturing to behold platonic forms. Even so, in this homogeneous, diaphanous gyration, panpsychism venturing to be encompassed within commonplace perceptibility. Reconciling societies from austere dissenting to cultivated, pluralistic, sky-streaming Aeolian-born prognostications into amphictyonic cults, polyeulogized rhapsodies refluxing between matter and turquoise ether, wisely guided elementals speeding the arrow through the alpha to the omega, gyrating, incarnating aerial syntheses and group awareness, gyrating, incarnating historical solidarity and earth servers. Even so, it might be too exceptional yet to epitomize Gnostic truths. Even so, I can swim in pan-Hellenic waves, ebbing into the cyan and white, melding the foam's mystical highlights into the omphalo's deep shiver. Even so, in this despotic, sophistic spiral, cultures musing to cultivate metaphysical idealism. Even so, in this heliacal coronal spiral, Pansophy musing to be validated by epistemological idealism, advancing governments from dysfunctional, distrusted to serviceable, trustworthy, allying fluid intuitiveness with directed precision, dialectically reaching impersonal judgments and ethics, equilibrating tides, reaching apotheotic crests where all opposites blend and profit, spiraling, celebrating primeval waters and eos, spiraling, celebrating apocryphal ideations and helionations, even so. It might be too thaumaturgical as of yet to respond to the supreme rays matrix. Even so, we can fly away from scotophobotactic gorges towards true phototactic acmes, accelerating the inevitable victory of the grand recreation. Even so. Thank you.
Brilliant as always. I love when all opposites blend and profit. I love that line. But then again, that whole presentation is filled with beautiful images and words. Thank you so much, Alexandra, for always blessing us and being here. And don't ever apologize for reading old stuff, or don't ever feel that you have to only read half a poem with me. No, I want the full Alexandra experience. So thank you for that. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
I did try half the poem with cultivating voices, but then I felt like something was missing.
Yeah,
from the message.
It's called a half of the poems missing.
Yeah. I didn't want to impose, but
Well, I know you're very polite, but you're not imposing. And you know me, I don't care if the show runs long. I want your full experience. And that goes for all of you. Don't ever feel you have to apologize. Like I said, let's stop making excuses for spending extended periods of time together. Right? To me, it's wonderful that you all come here wanting to recite and share your brilliance, and I appreciate that. But I would like to think it's also coming together to spend time together. Like I said, when we first opened up, I look around and I see all these beautiful humans that, many of your faces I'm so accustomed to seeing now. So, I welcome that. So, like I said, it's always good to have you here. All right. From brilliance to brilliance, let's bring on my partner in crime, Anjie. Anjie is a little under the weather today. So, you are going to put yourself... She turned on her cam. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were going to put it on or not. So,
hey everyone. The poem that I wrote is entitled "To Thine Own Self Be True," and I wrote it for a friend. She was going through changes, and she asked my advice. And I figured I'd better write a poem because if she did what I told her, she was going to jail. Truly. To thine own self be true. Make sure you know what to do. Never agonize over the situation. Just remember the rule of truth. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. To thine own self be true. Friends may sympathize, but they can never realize. Friends can lend a shoulder to cry on, but they can never really comfort you. To thine own self be true. To thine own self be true, true enough to know you have done all you can do. To thine own self be true, true enough to know that there is only one who can help you. True enough to know that you're true enough to know only one can help you. To thine own self be true, true enough to take it to the mountaintop and leave it there. Thank you.
Take it to the mountaintop and leave it there. Beautiful, strong poem, man. Just strong, very powerful stuff. Lovely.
Thank you.
Take it to the mountaintop and leave it there. I might be at the mountaintop. It might get crowded, but leave it anyway.
That's it.
Well done. All right, from brilliance to brilliance. Richard H., you are next, my friend. How you feeling? You good?
Hi there. I've just had a very lovely weekend, really, in Harrogate, which is where I grew up. It's a rather posh Victorian town.
Okay.
And it was my sister's 80th birthday.
Yes, I saw
So we all
a
got
photo. You
celebrated
posted.
that. I hasten to add, I'm the baby brother.
Yeah, I saw, I was in your post.
Yeah.
You're the baby.
And three of us were there, three siblings. And I probably mentioned my other sibling who died some years ago. And of course, lots of memories were up, you know, and seeing places where I used to go with Judy and things that I associated with her, spending the weekend there. So it got my brain going. And I woke up one morning and this was kind of already in my head. So this is to my late sister. Hello, Judy. I'm in Harrogate, where we grew up. That's Sister Susan's 80th birthday. Yes, she is now 30 years older than Mum, and 31 years older than you got to. I now write and perform poetry, and some of the best of it is about you, telling your story and keeping your memory alive, making it clear that you were not a wrong 'un. Meg is here too, and cousin Rosemary, and we're all grandparents. Maybe you are too. We hope Zoe, your baby, will try and trace us. Things are different now, and people with the problems you had are understood, helped, supported, and given therapy. You were unhappy, and your life was chaotic. I know you had ADD, attention deficit disorder. You had no blame, and you could have been helped. I hope if you're able to hear this letter or see me writing it as I think of you, that it will help how you feel. Realizing this was a huge relief to me. So I write this rather than raising a glass to your memory, as it's now 7 years since I had a drink. And I did one some years ago during lockdown to my mother. And it kind of is a pair to that. On a sort of similar theme, discovering myself. My life has had turbulence. I have not always coped. In fact, 3 breakdowns, full breakdowns, diagnosed clinical depressions, 2 full years off work, 1 year unable to leave the house, largely in bed. Psychotherapy, cathartic, helpful. A man who really should not have been a father, as my dad, a mother who died of cancer at 50, and when I was 13, a sexual predator paedophile as a stepmother. All caused damage, terrible damage. A sister with ADD, attention deficit disorder. That sister dying violently at 49. All these things cause harm. Panic attack over things, cancelled holidays, dealt with unfairly, a situation at work causing the worst breakdown, attacks and slights taken vastly hard. Things I knew in my brain should not affect me, but did, haunted me for weeks. Then the discovery that I was due to my early life, bipolar, with excessive highs and lows in my reaction to life and the crap it throws. And also I had RSD, rejection dysphoria syndrome, unable to regulate reaction to rejection, a moment of startling relevation, a huge understanding of myself, a calming to an extent. I now know why there has been so much pain. I know I must try very hard to avoid crisis, confrontation, toxic, venomous people, remove myself from noxious situations. I feel this knowledge is a great step forward and finally discover myself. I can now move on, understand me, and be me whole. Thank you. And just a little one, which I think I wrote on a bit of a down day. It's called Time Passing. The bubbles in a glass of champagne spring up from the bottom so bright and lively their lifespan is brief, storming upwards in excitement, bursting into the air and freedom. Our lives seem to pass so quickly, but our release takes so much longer, we don't know if we head for freedom or darkness. Long passages take such time and are drear and slow. Oh, some days I long to be a bubble in a glass of champagne.
Beautiful.
And that's me for today.
That is you today, my friend. Always glad to see you. I'm really glad you had a good time with your sister for her birthday. I saw the photo and I saw the joy you could tell, right?
Well, my great nephews and nieces who live in Munich.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one of them because I go and take him out from boarding school. He's in Harrogate, but the other three I hadn't seen since December 2019, and that's a long time for young people. And the youngest one, Eva, was very short, 5'1", and the others were all tall, and she was really, really a bit cross. And she blamed my sister, who is small. You see, my sisters were all small, around 6 foot. And so the joke was it's Granny's genes' fault, you know. And in the intervening years, she shot up and she's now as tall as the others. So she's a happy bunny.
Well done as usual. Love hearing little snippets of your life, your past, your present.
Yes, I'd probably write more about my life than a lot of other people do, but what moves me is what I have to write about. So exactly. I don't choose the subjects; they choose me.
You exactly. I hear you. Anyway, my friends, always good to see you, and thank you for always being open and sharing of what's going on with you. So, and I'm glad you're feeling good. Glad you're feeling good. All right. From brilliance to brilliance, Ian Mack, aka the Velvet Voice, aka the Professor. I could just keep going on and on. I have lots of respect for this young man. So I do. The Sonnet Master, there's another one.
Oh, I'm blushing now, Roll. I'm blushing.
I like making.
I'll have to grow a beard now to cover up the blushes.
Yeah. It's funny the way you just said that and the way you had your head tilted. You sounded like a more loving version of Scrooge.
Humbug. All right.
I
was going to say, those guys, I wanted to come back and hear what you're doing in 3, 4, 5 years' time, because what you're doing now, age 16, 17, 18, is pretty amazing. With more experience than your belt, I just kind of feel a bit humbled, with what you're doing there. Anyway, I've got 3 for you, 2 short ones and a longer one. So this is one I only just wrote on yesterday, in fact. There's like autumn starting to kick in here. So it's all changing, the weather and the wind and everything. So this one's called On an Autumnal Saturday Morning. The sagging sun seems to be hanging lower now in a watery, thin blue sky, while the colours on the ground appear hardened, made more brittle by the cooling air, descending with the fresh autumn winds coming down from the north, mercurial weather patterns changing on a whim, bringing with them nomadic Arctic birds flying in to keep us company. And there's me bussing into town early to avoid the crowds, stiff joints slowly loosening, sleep hanging over tired eyes like a thin, gauzy veil, gradually getting accustomed to the first gentle shivers of early autumn before the frozen stiffness sets in. It's my first one. This one is a sonnet. This one is from Millennium Sonnets I've been writing. I've got up to number 12 now. It's number 12. It's subtitled, This is My Redemption. The past is a closed, hidden book, written on fragile pages that are prone to self-destruct as we scrub off the fading print right over the palimpsest, reinventing new chapters in our imperfect memories, erasing inconvenient facts that we would prefer to forget. And so this is my redemption, lying at the mercy of my soft fingertips, my own personal prerogative, only to forgive and forget, to live and let live. So that's latest in the lineup. So it's no longer one now. This is one, we were doing a series of poems with Kemley and Tambap for Between the Lines, Poets on the Friday, and the theme was freedom. I did another one, which I read. This one I wrote later, I hadn't quite finished the draft, but it's kind of along exploring that theme about freedom, which is a very kind of, it's a hard one to pin down. It's a little kind of wiggly sort of concept, like some little eel that the more you try to grab hold of it, the more it wriggles and escapes. It's called Finding My Level. According to my inner plimsoll line, taking the measurement of my natural buoyancy is a known unknown, which varies as a weather vane turns full circle in the feckless wind of as the mood takes me. Similarly, that thorny notion known more commonly as freedom can change without any hint or sign of restraint, merely on a fragile whim or according to the context in which I choose to plough or furrow. For some, it suits their selfish ends, unrestrained by capitalism's anarchic nihilism, with not even a sliver of regulation, dog eats dog, akin to swimming in shark-infested waters, tied to a bag of chum. Just take the money and run, leaving the losers to gently stew in their inflammable wrapped tower blocks to suffocate or fry in hell. To others, it is the very central core of liberty, personal autonomy, to live your own life, your personal choice, to control your own body, and the rest can go and mind their own business. In philosophical circles, this amounts to free will versus determinism, the antipathy of predestination, leading inevitably to the awful stigma of rigid originalism, condemning the unbaptized innocent child to an endless afterlife in limbo, staring over the precipice into the inferno of hell. You, in your wisdom, may wish to accept this obscenity or not. Apparently, the convention of free speech that I would politely extend to you allows you that consideration, yet you would transform that into tyranny. But listen, there's more I have to say to you. Etymologically speaking, the word freedom relates to the basic concept of friendship. That is the solid foundation of our social bonds, the central plank on which we have built all mutually free societies. And so my inner plimsoll line tells me the limits of my load-bearing capacity, and hopefully I will find myself sailing, floating freely, without impediment, without fear of being holed amidship. Thank you.
The eloquence of your work. The first gentle shivers of the early autumn. I see Neil and I caught attention to the same line. So that's a brilliant piece of line from that first piece. I just love the eloquence of that last one and the play of words. Beautiful stuff, Ian. Just beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So I wasn't lying when I called you the sonnet master then.
No, you were right on that one. Yeah.
There you go.
I'll give you that
Lord,
one, Rob.
There must be an earthquake coming because he actually accepted a compliment.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Make sure you lock your doors tonight. Who knows what's coming? Ian accepted a compliment.
I'm writing that down in the diary. Okay.
There you go. No, your work is just brilliant, my friend. Brilliant. Keep putting it out. Like I said, I think one day they'll be analyzing your poetry, but particularly those that love the challenge of a sonnet. So, all right, from brilliance to brilliance. I'm not sure. I'm sure. I think I was told there was a collab coming, but I'm going to introduce them one at a time and then let them do their first thing. So, from brilliance to brilliance, up next, Mona.
Thank you, Raul. What a wonderful feature today. I was just so blown away by the young folks you showcased today. What a beautiful set. And people. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Mona. I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I was just featuring the young lady, and
very heartwarming and just mind-blowing.
Yeah,
so for today, we have a collaboration. Neil and I worked on this piece for quite some time. It's a little bit longer, so I won't have time to read another thing on the side. This is more like 7 minutes or so. I wanted to just say a couple of words about how we worked on it, and I will let Neil to talk about the reason why we chose the music the way we did. Usually we have more of an ekphrastic process where we already have the graphic work or the photography, and then we build on that. But this time around, we had a concept going, and then I created the graphic art just while listening to the music we decided upon. So this is the Albinoni's Adagio. Okay, so I will share the screen and I will let Neil talk about that part later. Right. Light and dark. Visions of light, some say, beware of the seductive sonorous reflections of the morning star, fallen from grace once again. Resplendent in the early dawn, the pride unveiled in light, that what is known, and all else feared, the greatest lure of all.
Why would the morning star be likened to a mace? Its head of spikes, leaning, cold. In the first light of day, fallen angels herald the dawn.
Visions of light, some say, mirages in the deserts of our lives, to have and keep, to grasp and be lost in this mad rush. Some say that light obscures the real, treasures beyond treasures, treasures beyond thought, beyond thought.
Beware, beware the false dawns, offering glimmers of hope. With eyes half closed, we clutch at straws, seeking to turn them into gold. We tilt cauldrons to trap the light, mere flashes in a pan, broken promises, sun rays that bend through air and water.
Silence, goodwill, and love live in the shadows we taught ourselves to dread. The rags, the sores, the night. Visions of light, some say, beware of the sharp edges of strikes that never heal. Electric jolts herald the storms and the temptation of anger held beyond its use. Revenge and rancor held holy like a scepter. Remember the dark mother, the ground receiving the rod, the charge, the heat, the light.
What makes dark, dark? Perhaps it is our own darkness that shrinks away to hide. That's the dark that the light can't abide. Not so the primordial, primal stretch that predated all light. That dark was always there, neither moving nor still. Even before, light was but a gleam, a mote in some creator's eyes. That dark was always in the spark. So fear not the darkness, the absence of what we term as light. Fear not the vanta black of night. Be not afraid of the penumbra that offers up its succor of sleep, that bathes your heavy-lidded eyes, rubbing in gently the salve of slumber, taking you deep into the secret holster where misty shadows merge with the stuff of dreams. For our very beings were conceived in the dark, its cavernous canvas, the perfect backdrop to the pinpoint stars, to the snow as it somersaults.
Here, midday, midsummer, mid-glory, nothing comes into its fullness without light. Sheathed in shells, the seeds of our bodies yearn to come into being. See how light is birth, how birth is dark. Its heat is calling us all into ripening until the time is upon us. The dusk, when the flesh surrenders its sweetness for growth in her dark caves. The ground, our holy mother. Out here, for a while, summer is fading into early fall. Leaves yield their claim to light and color. Nothing to grasp, nothing to hold, nothing to fear. For dark is death, for death is light. I long for you. To see you best, I close my eyes for now and rest.
On the ancient color wheel, neither black nor white will find a place, as time and prayer spin through space, offering up their Eigengrau of gray, its ashen hues dwell in our dreams, deep, deep, in the deep, dark tunnel, where Elysian fields lie beyond the pinhole of white light, with all the darkness shining through. In the chiaroscuro, the windows of my mind, I paint all the light and dark that I see in you. Memories of the spring and summer before the fall. Beyond the salt and pepper of your flowing hair, your grisaille figure waits at both wings of this triptych, mercurial and ready to fly towards the crossing of either twilight. Your eyes to the horizon at the azimuth, seeking out angels before they fall.
Thank you, everyone. I hope that the sound came out good. I mean, for me, I could hear it, but Neil tells me that the music didn't come through. So I'm a little sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it didn't come true. But at least for me, I don't know if I need the music, because the way you both recite, the pace, the tempo, and the fluctuation, it just works so well with the imagery. So for me, I think the music actually just takes away from that part of the experience. Not that the music isn't good, but if you understand what I mean. So I really enjoy listening to both of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the music though, because it was important piece, an important part of it. So I mean, when I was doing the graphic work, I was just listening to it all the time, like I was envisioning everything that was happening back in, to this cellist that was playing in, bullets were flying all around him. But I'll let Neil say more about it.
Well, post it on the site because maybe it'll come through. I'm not sure why it didn't come through here.
Yeah.
Eddy, you had your hand raised for a second. Did you want to say something or?
I want to say you still did a phenomenal, stupendous job. It's not about the music, but about the words. Thank you so much for gracing us with both of the presents.
Thank you, Eddy.
And I get it, Mona. I know you want, you put time into it, you want the full, and I understand the effects, but I just wanted you to know. For me,
the words are the music, Mona. The words are the music.
Yeah, yeah.
But it would have been. I mean, I love cello music anyway, but I think that the way you two work together with the images and the interaction and the words, you're becoming the best thing since Sonny and Cher.
Which one's Sonny? Which one's Cher? I don't know. Anyway, did you want to do another poem, Mona?
No, I will let Neil talk about more.
Okay, all right, Miss Daswani. Oh, I think it's still muted, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no, we've done this a few times. Eddy's probably heard it thrice over, so it's interesting that you say what you just did in terms of the words, and thank you, everyone, for your very kind words. Yes, I do hope that at some opportunity in the not too distant future, you guys can listen to the music. That adagio in G minor is very, very famous indeed, and it's very poignant and moving. And more importantly, is the story behind what prompted this. So we've done the dark and light. We've chosen that, and then normally we think of the music after we've done the visuals, as Mona has already said. But this time around, she said, like, what music would you have with it? And I was just reading this book by Susan Cain called Bittersweet, and I've shared that with some of you who've heard us do this piece before, the collab before. And it's all about Sarajevo and the summer or the May of 1992, and you've got this situation where for centuries, Ottoman mosques sat cheek by jowl with churches, Orthodox churches, and then people would go out and have kebabs and coffees together. Sarajevo was very much that sort of township until the horrible ethnic cleansing started. And the story behind why we chose that music is the chief cellist. And thanks, Ian. Yes, cello music is just very poignant and very appropriate here. The chief cellist of the Sarajevo orchestra came upon this bakery that had been hit by a mortar shell, and people had been queuing up to get bread, and 22 people died. And so what Smilovic does the next day, he goes to all the rubble near the bakery, and people still need to buy bread, and they're queuing up and braving all the fire. And Smilovic is in his opera best, coattails, white shirt, and he sits on this plastic chair. And for the next 22 days, he plays Adagio in G minor nonstop. And the fusillade of bullets somehow never strike him. And other musicians take it up. And I just couldn't think of anything more appropriate to go with it. But someday, when we do it again somewhere, or we put the music on, you'll get it. And, this is the one time, Raul, I will disagree with you quite vehemently that the music is very much an integral part of, and hopefully the story says why. Anyway.
Well, like I said, please post it on the group because I would like to hear it. I would love to hear it.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. Thanks, guys. Thank you for all your attention, all your kind words. Thank you.
Is that it? Did you guys? You just
yeah, we're set. No other poems. That's
okay.
fine. Thanks.
Beautiful. Well, like I said, it was beautiful, and I do get it. But I found myself. I even penned a new thought because of that. So whenever I write this, I'll make sure I mention this poem and both of you as the inspiration, because the words and the imagery, there was a depth to it that the more you guys do this collab, the better you get.
That's true.
The better you get. So I wasn't trying to downplay the importance of the music, but for me, this experience today, your words and the imagery just, it's a pass.
It was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that story, because it makes a lot of sense. No? I'm just looking forward to the next one. Keep doing them. You're building a nice rapport of these collabs. Yeah, so we'll be in touch. All right. Excuse me, guys. A frog in my throat. From brilliance to brilliance. All right, let's continue on. I forgot. I don't know if I posted the next five, but the next five is Chyrel, Rachael, Scott, Henry, and Eddy. So, Chyrel, the mic is yours, my friend.
I've been trying to figure out what I was going to read. So I'm going to kind of just lighten it up a little bit.
Sure.
But this is called Paramount Workmanship. You can't dull my shine, no matter how hard you try. It was given to me from my creator, the maker and giver of life. I was made in his image, bearing his likeness and similitude. That's the reason why you hate me and don't understand my unapologetically Black and majestic attitude. Be mindful how you treat me. Consider your evil ways. I am the paramount workmanship of my everlasting Father, the Ancient of Days. So while you hating on me, the good book says you should be loving me. Careful, I'm the apple of my Maker's eye, made to shine brighter than the stars that light up the never-ending sky. Stop blaming, shaming, and renaming me. I was fashioned in God's image. That's why you can't dull my shine. I'm fueled by the power of the stone of Israel, since before clocks could keep in perfect time. You can't contain the light or block out my shine. It was first formed by my creator, long before clocks could keep in perfect time. And I'm going to turn over now and read a poem that, thank you. I'm going to turn over now and read a poem that my sister wrote. I love this. And she's a little bit under the weather because she wanted to be here today, but she is not feeling well. She actually caught what I had about a week or so ago. But I love this poem. It's called Why You Hate Me. Why you hate me? You hate me because I walk and I sway to the rhythm of my own greatness, which God gave me from the beginning of time. You hate me because when I talk, I flow like the waters of the Egyptian Nile. You hate me because my eyes glow with the history of an entire nation of priests and kings. You hate me because my rich, dark chocolate skin radiates and reflects the sun, which lights the whole earth. You hate me because my lips are full and soft with a sensuous curve, speaking the proverbs of Solomon. You hate me because my kinky soft hair crowns my head like my father Adam and my mother Eve. You hate me because my body was carved by the master sculptor, Jehovah. You hate me because you spend your days and nights thinking of new ways to hold me down. But still, I rise, soaring higher and higher. You hate me because, like King David, I excel at your own tests of strength. I run, I jump, I climb, I catch, I throw, and I beat you at your own game. You hate me because I won't let you define me and tell me who you want me to be, because you're afraid of who I really am. You hate me because you want to be me.
That's it, show? Yeah, beautiful stuff. Very powerful. I love the change up. You know, stop blaming, naming, shaming. And what's the line? A paramount workman? You are a paramount workmanship. I love that line. I love that line.
Thank you.
Oh, well done. I'm glad you're feeling better, because there's still a hint of it in you, I could tell. But
Yeah,
glad you're feeling
a little bit.
Glad you're feeling.
A
Tell your
little bit.
sister I said speedy recovery. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
There seems to be a theme going on today about the dark and the light. And, you know, it's funny when Neil and Mona were doing their collab. I remember I wrote a piece years back called Fear Not the Dark. I think I need to bring that poem out into the light. It's been a long time. So, all right, from brilliance to brilliance. Let's continue on. Rachel, the mic is yours. Are you there, Rach?
I'm sorry, did you say Rachel?
Yes. Yes, I
I'm
did.
sorry, my signal keeps cutting out.
That's
I'm going to go
okay.
ahead and start now.
Yep. Please do.
PTSD armor. PTSD has become an armor which I can't tough and which no one can penetrate. Relentless nightmares rip screams, whimpers, and reluctant tears from me. Daymares ambush during waking moments. My body jerks, curls in on itself, rigid, gasping, cursing. I yield to exhaustion, world, weariness, and grief after a brief reprieve in the arms of a star being. And my next poem is dedicated to Rabbit and Cowboy.
I think you're muted, Rachel.
I'm sorry, it just reloaded on me again.
Yeah, I could tell you're
I
going
might
through.
get interrupted again.
That's okay. It's all good.
So
I could
this
tell you glitched.
next poem is called Nowhere Place, and it's dedicated to Rabbit and Cowboy, two Navajo unsheltered men who were brutally murdered in 2014 here in Albuquerque, New Mexico by 3 Hispanic teens in a hate crime. Part 1. At first, your lives were only a sheer, crisp line between death and blessing, one which you traced with fingers in red dirt. Gradually, it changed, became a place, a weight you carried in backpacks that bowed your spines. You unpacked it, slept in it, that vacant lot, cut off by tilting rusted chain link fences and walls of corrugated steel panels, where you 3 rabbit cowboy escates slept on a mattress, drinking and putting yourselves.
I think we lost her again.
I apologize for that. Where you 3 rabbit cowboy escates slept on a mattress, drinking and putting yourselves to sleep, sharing jokes, laughing, rapping, and singing our native songs, and yes, reciting poetry. Streaked family, put aside, discarded, and disregarded. Did you dream you were fancy dancing along the nowhere border between the asphalt and the vaulted blue sky? Closer to beauty, closer to blessing. Hojon. Part 2. 3 teenage boys, willful, with a hot surge of hate and alcohol, found you sleep. Part 2. 3 teenage boys, willful, with the hot surge of hate and alcohol, found you sleeping. They began to beat you. One of you escaped. Rabbit and cowboy remained in that suspended space as those boys raised cinder blocks over their heads and flung them down. There were tree branches, a metal pole, and finally knives. When they were done, they threw dirt into your eyes, a part of our sacred Mother Earth, Nehema Nahastan, and she reclaimed you both. A flimsy wooden cross with the words, Jesus saves, painted sloppily in white, leans against the fence. Deflated party balloons, red and yellow, tangle along the wall. White lilies bow over the weed-crowded dirt. Ojon Nahasklin. You walk in beauty above, beauty behind, beauty around, and beauty before you with the cool breeze on your bodies. It has become beauty again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachael. Thank you for telling that story and sharing their story. How long ago was this when this happened to these 3 men?
2014, so it's been about 10 years.
Did they ever get justice, or oh, I think we just lost her. I have to go check that out. It's an interesting story. Oh, you're back. I know you're having issues with the Matrix today. Did they ever get justice for these 3 lives, Rachael? I don't know if she's back or not. Oh, I hope they did. So.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I just asked, did the families of these 3 that were killed, did they get justice for their murders?
Yes, the criminal justice form of justice for minors. So not enough. It wasn't enough.
They were minors. Okay, got it. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing that into the light. You know, that's another theme, bringing a story like that into the light through your poetry. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right. Oh, before I move on to the next poet, I just want to let you guys know the feature, Charles and them had to leave. It was late, obviously. Usually the features stick around to take in everyone's poetry, but Charles wanted me to let you guys all know he was just grateful. And speaking on behalf of Natalie, who's very shy about speaking, that we're just really grateful for you guys being here for them today and the kind words. So just wanted to pass that on to you. And it's a 6-hour difference, so daylight was fading on them. So, all right, from brilliance to brilliance. So once again, Rachael, thank you for sharing that story. Up next, Scott, the mic is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Ron. This is I'm going to read 2. They're fairly short. This first one is called The Last Verse That Nobody Knows Blues. From California, this land is singing to the New York island, the blues. 12-bar field hollers ring from slave shack blues. The smoke rises in Mississippi juke joints, foot stomp on the downbeat, bend the E string on pawn shop guitars of Bo Diddley boxes, shoebox made on a worn flick shotgun porch blues. The heat rises, cigarettes burn in neck strings. Old blues is played with eyes closed with black cat bones on the edge of a swamp with too many gators in the no moonlight of the backdoor man sneaking out blues. It's part of a CC rider doing a free ride. It is king of the Delta blues man teaching us how to play slide on a flat top blues. The fog rises. We hitch with Woody. See San Francisco wail the blues. Singing the tap, tap, tap needle on homeless sidewalks, singing that somebody's little girl turned walking the midnight sidewalk on a date, got some shit blues. The sound rises through the F-holes. We walk the line of ramshackle housing, heat turned off, of absent fathers moved out, moved on, of halfway houses, of safe houses, of crack houses, of a factory set up to fail the huddled masses without a house blues. The flag raised to the screaming silent blues of Walter Reed, teaching heroes how to walk on one leg. It is the blues riff of yearning to breathe free. It is the grade school children learning that God shed his grace on thee for the first time blues. It is the foot stomp on the downbeat, the tap, 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 slap on the cracked guitar blues when we are still humming the tune, eyes closed, but have forgotten the words. This next one, I think it's the only poem that got any acclaim that I have written in the past, and it's called I'm a former I'm a former educator, and this is about a student I had in class. It's titled She Only Wants. She says her parents loved her so much they divorced. So at 14, she walks 3 miles down a dirt road to drive her grandparents home from the bar that turned into all day. When her dad moved close by before going back to the pen, she would have her friends over. He would send her out on the four-wheeler, said she was a cock blocker. She had to Google that one. She believes the boys think she's pretty when she goes braless at school, but behind her back they chant limericks that rhyme with her name. The last assignment was to write a poem titled What I Want in Life. She turned hers in within minutes, punctuated with a heart. I only want what you want. Thank you, Ro.
Wow. A powerful piece and powerful ending, Scott. Jeez.
Thank you.
I don't know, is that the student you were telling me about? Because that's a powerful.
Well, what I taught a poetry class, and every child in the class had suffered some form of abuse from parents being divorced. That trauma to dad having sex with them since she was 12.
Yeah.
So it's I taught these children the same way these African children demonstrated, to tell their own story, to have their own voice.
Yeah.
And these kids are getting through life now. So I'm kind of proud of that.
Well, I would take the kind of out of it and just be proud of it. As I told you.
Well, I am.
When we spoke, you know,
Yeah, I am.
I'll never forget you. Never. You know, I still remember the teachers that impact me, from Miss Harrison to Miss AG to Mr. Chrysler to Mr. Cook, Mr. Strolls. I could go on. Yeah, I'll never forget you. Like, that's why I'm glad when we had our one-on-one and you shared some of that with me. That's powerful piece, my friend. Powerful. You're a good man. You got a good heart. You're a good man. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just send money. Don't send thank yous. Just send money. I don't want your thank yous. Just kidding. Remember, I'm not a comedian. I just think I'm funny. So
that wasn't any bullshit poetry either, was it?
There you go. There you go. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, another brilliant man in my life, Henry. Glad to see you today. We missed you yesterday. I mean, we saw you. We had a panel discussion yesterday, and I mean, this man kept trying right up till the end to get on, but
oh my God. And I looked up and I'm like, I've been trying to get online over 40 minutes because I was there 15 minutes early, restarting everything I could think of. And then on the phone said, you know, go on your phone. And the phone said, no, the browser had blocked video. And I'm like, why? I've never set that up, you know. But
I know it's funny how sometimes your settings just change randomly, eh?
Well, yeah. I know you got the default thing, but you know, I don't use my phone for Zoom or anything for the most part.
Neither do I.
And I did it today when you're starting. I didn't want to be late, and I had to run and go get something, and I didn't want to miss the voices. So, and then I get back home because I like the laptop. I guess it's a place of comfort. I don't know, it's where I type and create. So
I'm the same with you. I'm the same with you. And it seems like everything now, they're trying to push you to do everything on your phone now. So.
And that's true. That's true. And I'm sorry, I refuse. I refuse because
Call me a dinosaur.
You have the right to decide how you want your life to be led. Let technology tell you how you're going to do things. Eventually they'll put something on the side of your neck saying, well, if you want to get on the internet, or you got to plug in.
Sounds like another show we'll be doing down the road.
See, exactly.
All right,
so,
my friend.
Yeah, the set was marvelous, gut-wrenching, powerful, young poets. And Scott just mentioned about working with youth. I was about 3 years here at the Gallatin Public Library working with youth, and the stories that he mentioned, they happened. Some of those youth were called cutters. I've heard of cutters, and then when I saw their arms, I was like, oh my God, cutters and with pens, straight pens, and all kind of. I didn't understand it until I heard their poetry, and I helped them to bring so much out. And some of them stopped cutting because I needed a letter recommendation for a couple of projects, and I asked the youth librarian, and I almost teared up crying when I read her letter, because she talked about how I helped them bring poetry to help transform their lives. And because as artists, you're not making six-figure incomes, you wonder, is this what it's all about? But then when you know that you have touched lives and transformed lives, that amount is priceless.
And there's no money can pay. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. So in the black and white type theme, I'm going to share today a poem that I wrote dedicated to James Baldwin, one of my favorite authors and activists. And recently I came upon a photo that reminded me of that, and I posted that online. And here is the poem, well, one of the poems actually, that I wrote. I wrote 5, but 2 where I was in a program, a fellowship. All right, this one is titled Just Above My Head, Searching for James. When you are gone, we seek sad eyes leaking slowly in disbelief, hoping to feel right, hearing a faint charm in my heart, thumping, resounding like distant drums of our motherland, floating along many notes without any rest or measure, sounding like gospel music, clinging to those old hymns, shining on the Nile's currents as wild catfish dance to tune from Egypt to Mississippi, not wanting the song to end, but know it must be heard, and bellows in the deep, trying to find his words, lost in this sea of tears, slowly drank sips to extinguish the peaking fire, flames of crosses having nothing to do with this country's salvation. A mock gray, moldy soldier looking for his crossed flag, you torch with your words. You, the warrior, without fear, throwing liquor at their flames, which burns inside you, stinging when going down, laughter when resting long, not 1 minute or second of mourning just about you. Instead, we listen to music which reminds us of you, that nomadic native son, known for your torn soul, trapped in onion pages, still an old pastor's son. Graceful lips chanting of the soul and heart to rise, one day from the dirty black, twisted by the neck to silence the screams with a bloody flag. Freedom layered on sown violence into the fabric of a blind nation. Marvel at us making things, pavers of crushed heads, thoughts of a better life, trapped in mortar, wrapped in fear, a blanket for cool nights, snatched away for wings. Torrid angels crave salvation, then fly to our hidden homes. Bring us full cotton bundles filled with old Dixie pride, cotton turned into rope, braided hairs of comfort, some made wicks awaiting fire, full of kindling, flames to dry our sweat of labor and seal our wounds. Working for the American dream while sleeping in the nightmare. Rambling prayers sung to us, shouting so God hears them. Longing to praise in words, a worn altar of sacrifice. Still clinging to excuses, preacher man's son smiles at the choir and runs to Paris. The wild child knew angels brought death, not redemption. As his father shouted, making church members run and scream, praising, hold on, hold on, hold on. The Lord will save you. God not done with you yet. They waited patiently. The son had enough of the old words to soothe the lambs. Deep sorrow wounds, wanting to be human and not feel shame, to want more than just getting by. We always working and working, then fall out near death, free for many Juneteenths. And we fill our eyes. Stop it there, ran out of time.
Mr. Baldwin, I think you and I need to talk about doing a special show for all things Baldwin. Well, his anniversary of his death, his passing is coming up in December, so we should maybe talk about it.
It's true. And I know another local poet.
Yeah.
He calls himself the son of Baldwin or something like that. But they're not, they know. I could
I definitely, Baldwin's one of my poems. Not necessarily if I mention him in his talk, and I used a line from his talk, and he's brilliant. Didn't always agree with him politically, but man, his artistic, but just his drive and his passion and the elegance in the way he handled it. I love the way he spoke. Here's one of his quotes: "Anyone who has never struggled with poverty knows how extremely expensive it is to be poor."
Very true. Very true.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's just James, So he was a brilliant writer, brilliant. But he was just a brilliant human being. It's unfortunate, they had him at that time in the 60s. I wish he was around now.
I know. I've thought of different historical figures. I wonder what so and so would say or write.
Yeah.
If they were here.
More so than the traditional, Malcolm or Martin. If James was around, I wonder what he would be saying today. I don't know if you ever saw him in his Oxford debate with William F. Buckley. If you
I saw that on YouTube.
I watch it quite regularly. So he was a very inspiring man. I don't know if he was fully appreciated.
Not. I mean, it seems like he kept busy at the right places, speaking and sharing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the literary world, I don't think so. But there's only so much you can do.
It is, and
with your time. So if you're writing, you gotta pull away, and you don't attend things, and you write and get it out. You can't do both at the same time.
Now also in this time, but I know he spent his days he ended his days in Paris and in France. Right. And anyway, we'll talk.
Okay.
I've always had that in my head, all things Baldwin. So, because I do admire him. So, all right. Thank you for that. From brilliance to brilliance, another brilliant mind. Eddy, the mic is yours, my friend.
Thank you, my brother. Like no other words like thunder. And to our young, wonderful, talented guests, thank you, poets, for being young and gifted. Thank you for bringing the sun and rain. Keep staying bold and lifted. I wish you all joy and harmony without pain. Thank you. My name is Ed Potato, feeling fantastic. Please, in time, you can join my rhyme follow sublime. I got 3 short pieces, so I won't take too much time. The first piece is called Dear Whomever. Dear whomever, hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the weather. Hope your mind is a clear bell. If not, it'll get better. Your life will set sail. If it's an argument, forgive him or her. I hope your sorrows go pale. Hope your days are less wetter. Hope you treasure your wins and fails. I hope you know you're a go-getter. Hope you don't fall for doubtful spells. I hope you know life is a heavy hitter. Hope you can break out of your shell. Hope you know lessons taste so bitter. Hope you toss all your regrets down a well. Hope you taste rain under warm shelter. Hope you become a hero, then a rebel. Hope you wear your pains and fears as a sweater. Hope your todays and tomorrows aren't hell. Hope you learn and gain a lot from this letter. Hope you're happy, safe, and not unwell. Hope you feel greater and lighter than a feather. Hope your heart expands, grows, and swells. Hope your dreams are on a higher measure. You know, this isn't a bitter goodbye, but a sweet farewell. Thank you. This other one is called Time Reflecting Color. The kaleidoscope inside us. Why do we act so oblivious? We're the color of imagination, going through many destinations. It boggles how people are blind, where the colors offer them signs. When I search for the rainbow within, you're walking and talking art, my friend. Please understand energy and creativity. Be something unique out of this pale reality. Close your eyes. What do you clearly see? Good. Now create, draw, or paint your fantasy. Thank you. And the last one is called Embroidering a Retrospect. Our minds is a projector, the movie of the reflector, the fond memories of life, the taste of sweet and strife. We're so cute and innocent, so are nasty and ignorant. It's tough watching the vivid screens, but it's the movie of our humanity. You can remember day by day the colors of red, green, black, and gray, the surreal times of colorful youth, the pains and gains had no substitutes. The stories gnawing in our bones, the experience carved in stones. Did our movie playing back, the ages seem to fade to black. The time hasn't yet left our past. The stories aren't gone in a flash. The nostalgia is wrapped around us tight. The wisdom of flights, fights, and delights. The movie's still going long and strong. This is a prolong or wrong to where you belong. Thank you.
Who are you? Who are you? Where's Eddy?
I am me, and we are poetry. I love your smile of glee.
You're stepping into a new level, man. Maybe because I just don't hear you as often, but man, like, who are you? It's like a whole new poet. I'm just loving your vibe. I'm loving the flow, loving the depths of your words. Right? There's always been a sincerity in what you do and how you present it, but to me, you're just taking it to a different level now. Maybe it's just me hearing it differently, but I'm so appreciating your poetry.
So appreciate you too. Yeah. Thank you for pushing on through. Remember that we love you.
Well, I'm grateful for that because I love you and I love you all, and just keep growing, man. That's the whole thing about this. It's just keep growing, keep moving forward, right? Like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Yes, I love Dory, one of my favorite characters of all time. I love Dory. And yes, she's a natural blue. I've seen Nemo probably 100 times because Harris loved Nemo. I blame it on him. I love Nemo and I used to want to watch it all the time too. So anyway, Eddy, thank you, brother. Thank you for, I'm just receiving it in a different way now and I'm really enjoying it. So not that I didn't before, but all right, I'll shut up now. All right, and we're down to 4. So I'm not going to put the next 4 up. I'll just call you as we wrap this show up. My good friend, my brother Richard, who I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to share a panel with yesterday, and such an insightful discussion with regards to poets and our roles and responsibility, and particularly in these trying times. And man, the conversation was just amazing. There's definitely a flow. Anjie even said it, the 4 of us. And I'm sure if Henry was there, just couldn't get on, but there was definitely a flow in the panel, and I'm looking forward to see where we go with this. So, but I'm not surprised because you're on it, my friend. So Richard, the mic is yours, brother.
Thank you. I'm going to share screen first. This is a piece stimulated by a colleague who set a prompt for freedom. And I was thinking about freedom, and I thought, I was thinking about the great ocean and the little tiny denizens upon which so much life depends. So this is called Walkington off the Plankington. Phytoplankton, zooplankton, God, what a mess. How in the great big ocean it boils down to the drifting, flipping this. There are oceans, there are tides. Who'd imagine all the madness these tiny creatures with such sparkly features drift and lift and spin along for their e-ticket ride? These are the foundation of the nation, these little microscopic fellows. Some are green, some are yellow, transparent, like some quite nutritious, a little suspicious. Under special conditions, the watery, spottery jello. Their very name proclaims their ultimate lack of power. Their great big name belies their fame. Plankton is Greek for drifter or wanderer. Grifter, simply adrift on the shifting lift of tides and currents transport their tiny, spiny blurt. And wind and wave gave what they gave with no more freedom than they were locked in a cave. They lived their lives with their forks and their knives, feasting, yeasting, sun balanced, bleaching, rising, sinking, almost without thinking. Feast for whales and snails that prevail across the sea in rivers and bays, in gulfs and gullies, and in 10,000 little tiny bellies. Accosted by heat and swirled like eggs that get beat, but their presence and residence is crucial to the tiniest fish, and the whales got their wish. They'd continue to flourish as whales might yet be nourished. The tiniest, spiniest catch of the sea, but with their chemical waste and the climate change race, they're endangered like never before. Worries that a somnolent mushroom spore, let's be sure, they don't walk through extinction's ugly old door. Since many zooplankton species eat phytoplankton, you can just picture the empty inner sanctum, bereft of their maddling, paddling way long into the evenings after a busy, sizzling day, only to find their phytoplankton gardens have all been looted when some oil slick polluted and now all glopped and slopped and unsuited find the salad board closed. So they turn up their nanoscopic nose and in longhand pen their eloquent epitaph compose. No more feeding those gigantic fish, though hardly sardini their wish, while they waste and chase the slime away. What can you say? We had our day, but we chased them away. And I've got one other poem for you that I'd like to share. This is, many of us have heard that there are religionists. Now, God bless religionists, every one of them. No matter what god or goddess they worship or the void, they all have their toys. This is called Religion, Plain or Peanut. How some religionists have come to this, insisting on their style of worship with a fist, enforcing virtue with the sword. They seem to belie the sacred word that God is love, is often said, but enforced and tortured and beaten in on someone's head. Maybe somehow you can tease it out and follow this curious colorific thread. We've some talk of God's free will, and yet some would enforce and coerce and indoctrinate at the very point of a shaking snake. Seems they'd rely on God's good power in a month or a year that it might flower. Others adhere to a belief that you should pray some way or other, or else you're in for some grief. Their belief, their cause is just, and yet therefore, just like them, you must offer prayer as they or vastly nasty harm shall come to you. As they interpret scripture, any other way just won't do. They, it seems, have a jealous, zealous God who in its own special way, if you want the nod, he's got a rod. Confines designs, it seems you should fold your hands just so, or off to Hades you must go. And any other prayer seems unsettles them and mars their dreams. God's enforcers they would be, and if you disagree, you may find yourself nailed to a tree. And they did this once or so, I'm told. 10 million statues molded, golded, gilded, golden sold. You'll find these little statuettes often round their neck with no regrets. And what the heck? They commemorate or so it seems, the awful, lawful outcome of his plans and schemes to buy the freedom of your soul. Do you know this torture is necessary? I'm not so sure. Let's go ask Larry. Is this repeated and painful refrain quite necessary? Is it under control yet transcends our friends and all? Quite droll. I'm not sure. Just the way with the shrieks and the screams this fellow rolls, that like to enshrine this God's finest hour, like when he succumbed to judicial, prejudicial Roman power. But it's okay. He's later throned above, because after the laughter and the refrain of painful disaster, all in all, it's just love. That's all there is above. Thank you, my friends. I hope I amused you a little.
Oh my gosh. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. I can only imagine if you put yours to use what we would get.
No danger of that.
You crack me. A plankton is a little suspicious. When you said that line, I had imagination took over and I saw planktons in a lineup in the police station.
Especially in the context of the earlier comments about Nemo and Dora, right?
Yeah. Have you seen this plankton? It could be armed and dangerous. Oh my God, you're brilliant, man. I could only imagine if you ever put your mind to use what would come from it. Jeez, well done, Richard. Well done. That's all I could tell you. It's well done, both pieces. That was good. That was good. All right, let's move on. Another brilliant young man that's in that flow. Principe, the mic is yours, brother. There you are. Get this. Wow, you're rocking there. I love it.
Thank you.
I've seen it, but now I'm seeing. I've kind of seen it live. I like it. Well done. Well done.
I'm a forest. I'm a forest, which is to say, I am unmoved by sudden gyrations, standing firm in my desires. My mental globe is the silence in the shifting air. In a deep state of meditation, I'm centering my thoughts. Every sound in the forest feeds me subliminal messages of calmness. No pinky, just the brain. By straighten and lower shoulders, no longer upward, feel free. The ghostly breeze caresses my smooth body like a cucumber. My temperature is mental, cool. The firm, bronze-colored pint cones in my mind, as always, are wisdoms. My pine cone in this forest fills up the once porous holes. I'm no longer lost in this life. Like a knife, the axe from the bipedal invaders try to cut up my forest, yet I resist against them. I am a forest, and I am unmoved. I'm gonna read one more. Post-harmonious ashes. I grew from silent spaces of hidden corners. My childhood was spent alone as if I was a castaway. Now that I'm grown, post-harmonious ashes speak what I won't express. A variety of emotions expressed in colorful, post-harmonious ashes. Each ash is a pent-up emotion on the pitcher's mound in the center of my chest. There's needing to be released into the city of the dead. These words I leave behind are like fluttering bird wings. They spread around in omnipresent fashion. They will always cast a net of love and lessons. Our words are post-harmonious ashes. Thank you.
You got to post that piece. Brilliant, powerful. Each ash a memory of regret or a picture of regret, something like that. That's powerful stuff, my friend. Well, that's how I heard it, because you were saying it and I had this image of someone, maybe even myself, standing before my father's urn. And you can just, the imagery of it, each ash. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Have you recorded this one, the last one?
No.
Please do. In your time, but please do. That's a powerful piece. Well done. Well done, Principe. Well done. And good recital. Good recital. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, we're down to 2. My friend Serene Poems. I have not seen you in a while, so I'm looking forward to seeing you. The mic is yours. There you are.
Thanks. I wasn't sure where it was in the set. I was using the toilet.
Oh, glad you came back.
Yes, I was really touched by today's set. Oh my goodness, that was just amazing, like really amazing. And I'm gonna kind of follow the same theme. This one's called Indispensable Grace. Smoky purple skies sink into night, layers of hazy rings, beautiful mesmerizing senses, awe-inspiring wonder glimpses. Grace came to dance a waltz of revelry for a winsome moment in time. Actually, sorry. Grace came to dance a waltz for a winsome moment in time, a waltz of revelry, a breather from the insanity. Crickets chirping in melody, the hot summer wind brushes against collarbones, warm concrete touches souls. Indispensable graces interlacing senses, anxiety seizes under tree canopy skies. And I have one more. If that's okay. I haven't published this yet, but this is what I'm working on. It's called You Took My Sunshine Away. This is very new, so I still have more editing. They are my sunshine, my every sunrise. They make me happy amidst the fog of gray. I dug my grave 10 feet deep the day you took my sunshine away. You let them believe I abandoned them. You are spineless, the day our children learned. My heart died 1,000 deaths the day you took my sunshine away. Without the sunlight, there's still pain. Broken and alone, the darkness numbs. Almost succumb to their lies. My heart died 1,000 deaths the day you took my sunshine away. With death, there's new life, a blossom blooming in the night, an unending craving. My heart died 1,000 deaths the day you took my sunshine away, the day you took my sunshine away. And that's for my children. Thank you.
Powerful piece, my friend. Powerful piece. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being vulnerable and sharing. Power of poetry. Pour it into the poetry. Pour it into the poetry. And I love the Grace came to dance a waltz. What waltz will Grace dance? I love that. And a breather from the insanity. Right? Yeah. Thank you so much. Good to see you. You look different to me because I'm sitting there. You were on. You had your camera on. I'm like, who's this? Is this a new poet that I'm not aware of? And I had to run my hand over it. And it's Serene because you look different. So I don't know if you darkened your hair or you're just,
I'm just working on me, and I'm a little happier.
Look good.
So maybe that shows.
Maybe. We'll catch up. Good to see you. All right, and we're down to our last of the Not Ready for Primetime poets. Thank you for sticking around and being here. Laura, the mic is yours. From brilliance to brilliance. Let's continue.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful to be here this evening, and
to hear our friends from Malawi, and it's always very moving, and to hear all these other stars of the Himmel. So I mix my languages, so that's the heavens above us. So many stars. Thank you. I'll read a short piece and then another one that's not that long either. This is called The Lack. The lack of respect is exhausting. The blood we can wipe away, but the lack threatens to crack everything we own, everything we do not. Why do you see those men over there with the ladder and the climbing equipment? They're dripping glue into that enormous tear where the earth threatens to split in two. Trouble is, when the tear breaks through the earth's crust, the glue will not be enough. The molten heart will come pouring out. By the time it cools, we will be in another ice age. There will be no turning back. And the second piece is to my neighbor who built a wall against me, and this is something for me that was literal and metaphoric.
Okay. Okay.
When I grew up, people didn't build fences between all their neighbors, but people do now. And they put it up right in your face. Anyway, but you know, there's also the walls we build between each other are much more toxic. So to my neighbor who built a wall against me. Thank you, neighbor, for this canvas. Upon this flat expanse, upon this fence of distance, my children and I will paint a masterpiece, wily as trees that come up between the sidewalk cracks. We will paint a scene of splendor in the desert, from coast to coast, flowering with effervescent greens and blooming fruits, audacious. We will paint an overstory that shades our heads in leaves of kindness. We will paint skies of blue and truth and clouds that drop seeds of patience. On this wall, we will paint words that give hope to those who arrive at this station. Stories, songs, and poems, sonnets and quatrain, tripadi and ghazal, pantoums and villanelles. You'll see, this will become a place of meeting. People will flock to read and hear the rounding sounds and be strengthened. We will paint a cafe to give people drinks. For the desert offers opportunity to those who think. We'll paint a band playing accordion and cornet and flute and violin and trumpet. The beat will draw a crowd. Singers will chorus, dancing and exulting in your name, neighbor. What? You're feeling left out? Lonely on the other side? Then we will paint a road. We will paint steeds strong and true. We will paint you riding in, riding through, tearing down the stony walls of indifference, tearing down the bricked fears of the other. And by painting us together, that will be enough. Thank you very much.
Hey.
I'm just speechless right now. That's an anthem, Laura.
Donald Trump and your neighbors ought to get together. They obviously have.
That's not just Donald now.
they
Kamala
are
wants to build
they are of a same mind.
she wants to build a wall too. So everybody wants to build a wall now. Everybody wants to build a wall. And as you're saying that, as you're reading that, it was like that's a mural of words. Because as you were saying it, I just felt each section of a mural just manifested on this wall that your neighbor wanted to build or did build. And the best form of revenge is to do something positive, because I love the way you twisted it. Oh, what's wrong? Are you feeling lonely now? Are you feeling unseen, unworthy? Yeah, that's a brilliant, brilliant piece.
Yep.
Right? That's just a mural itself. Right?
The wall between the U.S. and Mexico. Mm-hmm. You know, partly because my family were from some of that area, and those cultures were all intermixed, really sticks me too. And you know, and then on top of that, the neighbor building a wall between me and but that just you know, this sticks me, this wall with Mexico that really I can't take.
Well, maybe one day we'll live in a world where we don't have borders. Unfortunately, that's not today or tomorrow or the next 10 years. I don't know, but one day maybe, right? I accept we still have a lot of bad actors in this world that want to cause harm, so we need borders for certain things. It's not so much the borders, it's how we have them, how we use them, right? I don't know.
And they were building that literally in people's properties, between say the small cemetery of their relatives and their little land, and you know, stuff like this.
They have no regards for those things. I know. To me, it doesn't take that much effort to move it around or plot it a different way. Right, but when money and politics get involved, that's why, you know, the common people fight amongst each other over these politicians. Why? They don't care. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. They don't care. They care about power and their position. I've got to stop fighting and thinking these people somehow care. That's why, you know, I focus on the process. These institutions are supposed to make our lives better, and they're not. You got these people running for office every year telling you a bunch of nonsense, and they don't care because they don't live the way we do. Mm-hmm. So that's a brilliant piece. That's a brilliant piece. Well done.
Thank you
anyway,
so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for this. This was so invigorating. I may not even be online for the rest of the day. I think I'm gonna just need to go and process this myself and just chill and be with it. Even from yesterday's panel show, which was a powerful thing as well. But this was a nice surprise. Oh, you're most welcome, man. This was a nice surprise because, like I said, I had no idea. Charles or Natalie didn't tell me what their intent was until before the show. And you just go with it. Sometimes, you know, you just go with it. You don't fight it. You just flow with it. And look what happened. You guys keep praising me for giving these guys a spotlight or whatever. No. You don't need to praise me. That's what I'm supposed to do. When you see someone that needs help, you help them the best way you can. The best way you can. It's not always about giving money. Sometimes just letting other people know, I see you, might be enough, right? This is what I took away from Scott. I don't know if Scott's still here, but his poetry and what he talked about, and getting to know Scott and talking to him as a former educator, right? Sometimes just seeing someone is enough. This is why the homeless, whenever I used to walk around and see homeless people, a lot of times I watch how people, they kind of walk, they hold their head down. They don't even look at them like they don't exist. People just want to be seen. And that young Natalie is very shy, doesn't want to talk much, but she has big dreams, big hopes. If I can play a small part to help her to get to that point, that's my job. You don't have to thank me for that. That is my job. We are here to help. We are here to be kind and compassionate. The majority of people are built that way. We get stuck on the ones that aren't. We need to stop that. The majority of people want to help. The majority of people are kind and compassionate. And even kind and compassionate people can do stupid things. We are here to experience the fullness of life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. And we're going to do those things and have those things happen to us. But the majority of people care. Stop putting our trust in these people that are about power. It's time we get back to truly electing people that want to serve and not have a damn career and build their riches off the backs of those that they say they care about. It's time for us to wake up. Because whether you're in a camp in Malawi, or you're living in Austria, or you're in Tennessee, or you're like me here in Toronto, or my friend in Greece, wherever, or Ian in the UK, both Richard and Ian. Doesn't matter where you're from. We're all part of the general population. We're in this together. We the people, we the people, we the people. We the ones with the power, not those idiots. It's time for us to remember that. Thank you. Not just the gift, but the power of poetry. Let's truly be powerful poets. Let's not just talk it, let's walk it. Doesn't take much to be kind, doesn't take much to be compassionate, and it doesn't take much to be a damn warrior when it's called upon. Walk gently so you can be gentle with yourself. I love you all. Thank you for blessing the Inspired Poetry Corner once again. Thank you for being here for those brilliant young minds that sit in a refugee camp. And thank you for being here for you. Inspired Poetry Corner is nothing without you. So I'll see you next month, or before that, but I'll see you next month in this. Karen, good to see you here again. I know Sundays are hard. Thank you for all being here. Neil, Mona, brilliant collab. I love that collab. Keep going, Richard, both Richards, and Eddie, and Rachel, who was here, my partner in crime, Angie and Henry, Alexandria, right? Keep going, guys. Laura, Serene, I love you all. I'll see you soon.
Have a good Sunday. Stay safe and stay poetastic. And thank you.
See you guys.